Hello learners, welcome back to the course Hybrid Electrical Vehicle. In the previous videos we had discussed about electrical drives. In continue with this, today we're going to be discuss about what is AC motor, what are the components in it, and the working principle of AC motors. So in the last video we had discussed about working and construction as well as type of DC kind of motors. So the AC motor is also working with the principle of Fleming left hand rule as well as Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. I just want to revise the things. The electromagnetic induction is nothing but when you place the current carrying conductor between the magnetic lines, it induced this current carrying conductor induced some mechanical force, right? So these mechanical force try to rotate the rotor inside the electrical motor. So it is a basic principle, and this induced mechanical force which is follows the Fleming left hand rule. So these are some laws, or these are some basic principles behind the operation of AC motor as well. So the AC motors which is operates with alternate current and produces mechanical power output. So there are two type of electrical motor. AC motor is used in the both electrical as well as hybrid electric vehicle. So first type is induction motor, AC induction motor. So the second type is AC synchronous motor. So each motor have some special characteristics, and it has its own advantages as well as drawbacks. So in this video, we're going to be discuss detailing on so what are the basic principle and what are the types and what are the components in it. So I just start with induction motor. So the induction motor which is operates with less than the supply frequency, and it operates with the induction force which is created in the rotor. So it is also have a stator, rotor, field winding, armature winding. So as well as supply current as we discussed in the DC motor. And the second method is the second type is synchronous motor. So the synchronous motor which is operate with operates with the supply frequency, and it is also having stator, rotor, field winding, armature winding. So in synchronous motor there will be a magnet which is created by the supply current with the help of DC supply. So in the synchronous motor, the speed of the speed of the motor which is equal to supply frequency. So it is a common difference between induction and synchronous motor. So we will discuss detailedly about what is induction, what is synchronous, and what are the components in it in the next slide. So and these are the basic principle. As I said, when you current carrying conductor placed in the magnetic field, it induced some mechanical force. It try to rotate in its own axis. And the second important thing is when you supply or when you try to energize the electromagnet with the help of AC current. The AC, when you supply the AC current to the electromagnet, and the poles are keep on changing, right? It is one of the special character when you supply the AC current. See, for example, if you want to energize the stator with the help of AC current, you just supply the current. So when you supply the current to energize the stator, the poles of stator is keep on changing, right? So it's create some rotation. It is called as rotation of magnetic flux. It is known as rotation of magnetic flux, is also known as RMF. So when you supply the AC current in the stator or any other electromagnet, it creates rotational magnetic flux. It is keep on rotating in its own axis. So that in a synchronous motor, the rotation of magnetic flux is always equal to rotation of rotor. So that it is called as synchronous motor. And in induction motor, this rotational magnetic flux is not equal to rotation of rotor. So these are some basics between induction as well as synchronous motor. And I just straight away move on Working principle of induction motor, as I said earlier, the AC motor is also having rotor and stator armature winding as well as field winding. The only different in induction motor is, in AC kind of motors we have stator, right? So these stator having stator slots, not pole shoes. The AC motor having stator slot as well as armature slots. So between the slots we have a field winding as well as armature winding. And from the figure you can see in the left side image, you can able to see that. And the outer portion you have a stator. These stator having stator slots. Over the stator slots we have a n number of field winding, right? So when you supply the AC current to the stator, it create a magnetic flux over it. So these magnetic flux keep on changing due to the change of poles, right? So due to the continuous change of poles in the stator, it creates rotation of magnetic flux. So this rotation of magnetic flux is shown in the image as dotted line. So you just try to imagine. So you just supply the current, AC current to stator, it create a rotation of magnetic flux. It's keep on rotating in its own axis. So this rotation of magnetic flux disturbed by the rotor, right? So in the center you have a rotor. These rotor having rotor slots. Over the rotor slots we have a n number of armature winding, right? So when the rotation of magnetic flux rotates in its own axis, it will be disturbed by the armature winding, right? So due to the disturbance, the armature winding created electromotive force. You can say that EMF. So this EMF, it can be flow in the rotor. You just try to imagine, yeah. So due to the disturbance of electromotive, magnetic lines, the EMF which is induced in the conductor of rotor, right? So these EMF which is flow through the armature winding, as I said earlier, when you flow the current between the magnetic flux, it's try to rotate so that the rotor is going to be rotated in its own axis. So this is the basic principle of induction motor. So this induction motor is having some advantages as well as drawback. So one of the most important drawback is, so when you are using the induction motor, it has lesser or minimum starting torque compared to the when compared to the synchronous motor. The second drawback is, so it doesn't have a starting torque. So the induction motor doesn't have a starting torque. So you have to create a separate circuit to energize or to these secondary circuits. It helps to start the or rotate the rotor at initial conditions. So these are some drawbacks in the induction kind of motor. So these are the diagram. It indicates stator and rotor of induction motor. You can see when you supply the AC current to the stator, it has rotation of magnetic flux, RMF. So these RMF disturbed by the conductor of rotor, so that the conductor energized with electromotive force. These electromotive force flows over, it is flows over the conductor of rotor. So you can see that in this right side video, in the right side image you can see that the rotor having number of rotor slots. It is made up of by copper as well as aluminum. So in the rotor, both the end have some rings. So it is called as neutral ring or short circuited rings. So the use of those ring is, it's keep on neutralizing the power which is created in the conductor, right? So if you keep on neutralize the power, so it helps to flow the electromotive force. It helps to, or it accelerates the movement of electromotive force in the conductor of the rotor, right? So if you have a more number of current flow in the rotor, it helps to create a more amount of torque as well as more amount of speed. So these are some image related to induction motor. The induction motor works on the transforming action. The stator works on a primary while the rotor works as a secondary. It is also called as asynchronous motors. So the induction motor is also called as asynchronous motor. Why it is called as asynchronous motor? Where the speed of the rotor is not equal to rotation of magnetic flux. Right, I just repeat again. So the asynchronous motor is nothing but where the speed of the rotor is not equal to rotation of magnetic flux. And the stator having a two important part. One is stator and the second one is rotor. The stator having a stator winding. Over the winding we have a number of field windings, and the rotor have a number of rotor slots. Inner side the rotor slots we have a armature winding. And from this image we can identify that there is a small gap between the stator as well as rotor, right? It's called as the air gap. So it should be from 0.4 mm to the 4 mm, right? So depends upon the size as well as capacity of the motor, but it should be a minimum of 0.4 mm to 4 mm of air gap. So, and the stator has three important part. One is outer frame. So outer frame is also called as yoke. It helps to make a protection over the inner components from the dust as well as moisture content. And in the inner side we have a stator core. This stator core, the n number of stator core is placed over the stator. It helps to create a electromagnetic flux. And the third one is stator winding. It's also known as field winding. So it's maybe a single phase or a three phase, right? So most of the case they have used three phase winding for getting a better power output from the motor. And here you have a line diagram of induction motor. The induction motor which is operates with the induced force created in the rotor. And on the outer side you have a n number of stator slots, and the rotor have a n number of rotor slots. Between the slots we have a number of field winding as well as armature winding. So you just keep in your mind. So when you're going for induction motor, you just to supply the current for stator alone, and whereas the rotor is energized with the help of electromotive force, so that the rotor is going to be rotate. And so the induction motor having two different kind of rotor, right? So first one is squirrel cage rotor, and second one is face wounded rotor or slip ring rotor. So I just explain one by one. First we just going to discuss about squirrel cage rotor. So in this diagram, this is a line diagram of a squirrel cage. It having a number of bars. So these bars are made with conducting material like aluminum as well as copper. And as I said in the earlier, both they are having a ring. This ring is called as neutral ring, or so it helps to neutralizing the power which is created in the conductor of the rotor. So these are the example for squirrel cage motor, sorry, squirrel cage rotor. And so this is the diagram of squirrel cage rotor type. And then it have a shaft, and then conductor bars. The conductor bars made with copper and aluminum. And between the gap we have some insulating materials to avoid the physical contact between the each bars. And it have some advantages like it reduces humming and provide smoother torque for different position of rotor, and reduce magnetic locking of stator as well as rotor. So these are some advantages with the help of when you're using the squirrel cage kind of rotor in the induction motor. And next one is slip ring rotor. The slip ring rotor creates higher torque as well as higher speed range compared to the squirrel cage type. and it has produces more resistance to the current which is conducted or passes through the rotor with the help of three different rings, right? So I can show the image. Here you can see that uh, it having three slip rings. These three slip rings have a separate circuits. It create a winding over the rotor, right? So when you have a slip rings, it creates more resistance to the flow current in the rotor. So due to the high resistance created in the rotor, it creates more amount of torque as well as high range of speed. So here you have a image of slip ring kind of rotor. The rotor having a number of rotor slots. Over the slots we have a number of winding. This winding is connected. You just take example. Here we have three phase winding, so that we have used three slip rings. So these slip rings create a more amount of resistance over the more amount of resistance to the current flow through the rotor, right? So that it produces more torque as well as speed compared to the squirrel cage type of rotor. And based on the number of windings placed in the stator, the induction motor is classified into two type. One is induction single phase induction motor and three phase induction motor. So the single phase induction motor is nothing but it having a single phase of winding which is wounded over the stator. So apart from the other components is same. The only thing is in a single phase induction motor, so the stator winding has single set of winding. The stator core having a single set of winding and supply the AC current. So right. So when you supply the AC current in it, it create a electromagnetic force. So it helps to create a induction force in the rotor. So it's going to be rotate. So to operate on single phase supply for use in uh, numerous applications like ceiling fan, most of the house applications works with the help of single phase induction motor, like ceiling fan, refrigerator, food mixtures, and all. And in a single phase induction motor physically looks like three phase induction motor, except its stator is provided a single phase winding, right? You just keep in your mind, in single phase induction motor the stator has single phase winding. So the rotor of any single phase induction motor is interchangeable with that of polyphase induction motor, and a single phase winding would produces no rotating magnetic field and no starting torque. So this is a drawback. The single phase induction motor doesn't have a rotation of magnetic flux, and then it doesn't have a starting torque, so that we have provide the auxiliary winding to make a initial start of the induction motor. So these are the some and then in the stator of a single phase motor is provided with the extra winding is known as starting winding or auxiliary winding. So it helps to start the motor at the initial condition. And these are the diagram. On the inner side you have a slots. Inside the slot we have a winding. It is having a single phase winding. And so this is a line diagram. The outer portion we have a slots. Over the slots we have winding. So these windings is energized with the help of single phase AC motor, sorry, single phase AC current. So our next type is three phase induction motor. In three phase induction motor, the stator slots having three different set of windings. Say for example, it have A, B, three like of three different set of winding. It is wound over the stator slots. When you supply the AC current, three phase AC current over the to the stator winding, it creates rotation of magnetic flux. So the three phase induction motor has a number of advantages compared to single phase induction motor. It produces higher torque as well as higher speed and high starting torque compared to the single phase induction motor. So here you have a diagram. The stator slots having three different three different windings. It indicates in blue, green and red color. So with the help of three different windings, we can supply the three-phase AC current. So when you supply the three-phase AC current, each winding helps to energize the stator slots. So when you supply AC current, it creates rotation of magnetic flux over the stator. So this rotation of magnetic flux disturbed by the rotor, so that it's going to be rotated in its own axis. So these are the some working principle of single phase as well as three phase induction motor. So I just wind up the class right over here. I hope you have a clear idea about AC motor, as well as particularly for AC induction motor. In the next class, we will discuss the working and construction of synchronous motor. Thank you.